rocking, you beautiful humans. My name is Ariane Andrew.
I'm Matt Dillon, and welcome to another piping hot episode of Sippin' the Tea, where we
Sip the tea and our guests.
Spill that tea!
No.
3, 2, 1. Spill that tea! Bob Hitch.
Okay, I'm done. Okay, we need to introduce our guest now. That's Mama and that's Glitty.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the book. Today's Wonder Women, honey. Everyday superheroes changing the world. The founder of Girl Talk HQ, a dear friend of mine from way back in the day in Australia. I am so excited to have Asha Dahya here. What is up,
Hey
my friend?
guys!
Hello.
Thank you for having
Let me
me.
just place your book in Prime.
Product
Pre-order
placement.
available now.
And thank
Yes,
you for
it is.
letting us have that moment real fast where we can get our life together.
Listen,
Oh, I enjoyed that. Thank you for
it
that.
makes for great
Yes.
television.
Oh, Mama
There we
loved it.
go.
So let's take it back. You know, you're originally from Australia. So
Yep.
how, going from being a TV host to now, owning a business and being just this amazing entrepreneur, tell us the journey and how you got there.
Yeah, thank you. It's been quite a journey. Just starting in TV was something I always wanted to do, and I always loved music and interviewing people and pop culture. And when you're in your early 20s, it's like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And then I grew and changed a little bit and evolved as a person and went through a few struggles in my life and realized I wanted to kind of refine my focus a little bit. And for me, that was sharing stories of empowering women, everyday women who are just doing really badass, inspiring things. So that's what Girl Talk HQ is about, and that's why it was created. Mainly because I wanted to read those stories when I was going through these struggles. So it was created for me, and in turn, I built this community that it's just really cool that I get to interview these amazing women. Cut to a few years later, I started like a specific blog on the website called Today's Wonder Women, where I was profiling specific women who are creating change in their community. And then that evolved into a book deal, which happened very randomly. But it's just been such a cool journey, and I've loved every minute of it. And cut to today, I've got a book and I'm releasing it, and it's really cool. So
Well,
here I
thanks
am
for
on.
coming in. Thanks for coming in. You just basically did the whole
And
thing.
that's a wrap.
Bye, guys. No. All right, let's rewind. Let's rewind. Take it segment by segment. Your transition here, I want to touch on like what really drove you to seek those stories. I want to know, as much as you're willing to share.
Yeah.
I know a little bit about you, so you
Yes.
know where I'm taking this, because I think that really pre-frames why you sought out other women of substance and other everyday women. So can you take us through the kind of psychology behind
Definitely.
Yeah, let's go there, because
Yes.
that makes this, that gives it.
It makes it relevant and relatable. So when I moved to the US in 2008, probably the worst time to move to America, just before the economy crashed. And there was a writer's strike in Hollywood, but I was very determined to come here and start my career. At the same time, I started going to a church community in Los Angeles where I was living at the time, and got married very quickly at the age of 24. It was just something that people in this church community were doing, and so I just grew up with the notion of, okay, you just get married to someone who has the same beliefs as you and everything will fall into place, it'll be great. Cut to it wasn't.
I have a nice photo from your wedding with
Oh my,
you,
yeah, that's
actually.
right. You were at that wedding.
I was in the backyard.
Oh, that's
Photo here.
right.
Insert
We
there.
really do go way back.
We go way back.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry to digress.
So I got married very young, very early. Well, for me anyway, 24 is, if I could do it over again, I wouldn't do it. But anyway, I was 24, I was young, naive, got married. The marriage became abusive. And so I had to make a decision, do I stay in it and, try and stick it out? And there was a lot of toxic messaging in the church that I was in, you stay married no matter what, God hates divorce, all that kind of stuff. And it was really disempowering, and I felt I didn't have enough of a female support network around me. It felt like the women that were in leadership positions, which were not very many, they didn't really come alongside me, and they didn't really encourage me in any way. And so I felt really alone. And I felt that once I made the decision to get a divorce and leave the church, just to put distance between myself and that place and my ex so that I could start over again, it felt like all of a sudden I had lost everything about my identity, my community, my social network. And it really hurt because I thought these people were my friends. I mean, I was doing like Bible studies, lunches, camps, not to mention Sunday church. And so it felt like no one reached out to me. And I was like, okay, well, who am I? What am I doing? Where do I go from here? So I had to rebuild my personal identity. And at the same time, I mean, it kind of goes without saying, when your personal life is suffering, your professional life is not going to be thriving, right?
Exactly.
So it was both of those things that I had to really rebuild from the start. And so it was a struggle, but it gave me an opportunity to be like, okay, what do I want to do this time? Let's start all over again. Who is Asha? What's my message I want to put out there? How do I use all of this TV experience and personal experience and put it together? And so Girl Talk HQ kind of came about because, like I mentioned, I didn't have that support network of strong women around me, and I would see stories in the media, or I'd read about them in books. And we know all the really amazing women like Michelle Obama, Malala, and all these women throughout history. It's like, oh, that's so inspiring. Where do we find these stories in our own networks, in our own circles, because they exist? So that's kind of how Girl Talk HQ became my brand, I guess, and became something that I wanted to make my core message and everything that I do. So that's the nitty gritty of what I went through and how today's Wonder Women and Girl Talk HQ came about.
Yeah, but I mean, it's so relatable because there isn't many women who are able to share the story. So it's amazing that you're able to share the story.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, because you're
no worries.
Excuse me. Now you're now helping other women who feel like they may,
hope so,
be stuck or going through something. And what I always like to say is your struggle is your superpower. So for you were able to use your struggle and make something so amazing, especially in today's society, to have like that women empowerment. So what you're doing with Girl Talk, HQ, is so amazing because you're reflecting on all the positive things about women instead of all the negative. And that's, we're struggling in this society right now.
Yeah, and I believe that everyone goes through a struggle, and you can have two ways to react to it. You can allow it to overtake you, or you can be like, no, I'm going to use this for fuel, and it's going to better me because I'm not going to be a victim of this. I'm going to use it to conquer the next thing and the next thing. And so after, trying to figure it out, it wasn't easy. It took a while for me to figure out, who am I, stand on my own 2 feet. This is my network now. This is who I am. I'm going to own warts and all the flaws, and kind of go from there. So I think it's all about how you deal with the struggle.
I love it. You're building a community with the digital side of things that is kind of like reaching people that don't have the access to big circles of friends or people in remote places. And I think that's so important.
It is.
For everybody.
Everyone,
everybody.
Yes. The book is, featuring women, but I think it's a message that can relate to anyone. We all want to find inspiration and positivity. The world is such a crazy place right now.
We want a bestseller.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's so funny.
I mean, but it is the truth. I mean, it's not just, of course, me being a woman, but it's also men. So it's amazing that you are creating this platform for everybody.
Yeah.
So
it's a good point, and it just let's bring this up so we can get a nice tight shot of it. I think from a man's perspective, a book like this, what you're doing is also, if there's certain different kinds of men out there, but it's about being able to listen to different perspectives.
Yeah.
And understanding. So we as a culture, as men, can grow and learn and be able to work with and together, whether it's your spouse, whether it's in business, whether it's a gay to straight girlfriend relationship. Because there's a lot of different dynamics there.
Yeah,
and I think something like this really, is a tool for everybody. It's great to highlight amazing everyday women, which is the core of this, but I think it's a great tool for men, so get by it, okay?
Yeah, I hope that it will be a conversation starter because
just as that.
Yeah.
Part 2, the Wonder Man.
Oh,
The
yeah,
Wonder Man.
really.
I
I think it is really great to talk about, how, stories about women and feminism and gender equality benefits men too. There are far too many negative messages out there, but honestly, when we're all empowered, we all benefit, as human beings. So
Wait, repeat that into that camera.
when we're all empowered, we all benefit. No one loses out. So don't listen to the negative messages out there that say you do. It's like, it's not a piece of pie. It's humanity. We're all partaking in it.
It's good shit.
Right? So I have to ask you, for someone who, who's gone through so much and been able to, come, get through it, what would be something you would tell your younger self?
Oh, I've been asked that a few times, and oh my gosh, if I really think about it, my voice would start to shake, and I would have like tears of emotion because I can't just turn it on like that. But I would just tell her, like, trust in yourself, and don't listen to the voices and people tell you not to trust your instinct. I think women especially, but all people, we have a gut instinct for a reason. And for too long, maybe it was part of the religious community I was part of, but there was this whole sense of like, deny yourself, deny your own emotions and thoughts and feelings, because feelings aren't facts. It's like, well, actually they are. And if you believe in God, I'm going to get spiritual for 1 second, but if you believe in God, didn't God create those emotions? Like, learn how to tap into them and channel them into a way that empowers you and people around you. So I really believe in, that inner voice. And so I would tell my younger self, trust your gut and listen to that voice and be open to the journey. That's something I was always very fearful of. What if I fail? What if I don't make it? It's like, so what? At least you tried. I mean, I've failed at a million things, but the other day I was looking back going, you know what? I'm so glad I tried that. And, it was a great time, didn't work out, whatever. Here I am today. So
I was there by your side.
He sure did. He was. We got the photos to show.
No.
No, we shouldn't be showing those.
Picture there.
No, but I like to say that failure is never a negative thing. It's a way, I feel like, to start again with more knowledge.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all the world's biggest and best entrepreneurs and businesses started with a single person who went through multiple rounds of failure. You watch Shark's Tank, you watch any of these interviews with people like Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg or anyone in Silicon Valley, they'll tell you they started a gazillion businesses before landing on the one, so.
It's true. Yeah. So, speaking of, nice segue. Ready for the segue?
Oh, I didn't even know I was doing it.
Speaking of the one.
Okay.
The toxicity of what you went through, you turned it into a positive in terms of your personal. Let's talk about, this beauty here just had a little baby. She's got a little boy.
I got to hide them.
And I see that ring over there too.
Yeah. Tell us about the second time around and why the family dynamic and how it's like, I guess in a way kind of restored your faith in that, because I feel like you probably were a little shattered by
Definitely.
Well,
I feel like when I got married the first time, I felt like I made decisions based on what I was told I should be doing. The second time round, I kind of stripped all that away. It's like, no, this time I've learned my lessons. I know what I like, what I don't like.
Now she's telling. Sit down!
Now I'm the boss. But then the guy that I'm married to now, who's also from Australia, I got to choose him, because of who I was and who I wanted to be with him, and it was great. And we're still together, so something's still working out. And we've got 2 kids. We've got a 2-year-old boy and a 4-month-old baby girl. And
Frankie and Zoe.
Yeah, Frankie and Zoe, my little littles. And it's just been such a really cool journey. And again, it's not easy, but I love the challenge and the journey and the ups and the downs that I'm learning through this relationship, because it's what I chose and what I wanted to be part of. So I think that's a really important part of, being in relationships and seeking those out.
I think finding your happiness in there has
100%
played a part in this being right here.
Yeah, you want to hear something really crazy? So so the book kind of started. I got the book deal the same week I found out I was pregnant with Zoe, and the same week my son started daycare, which was great, because I'm just like, you need just daily stimulation. So it felt like everything happened at the right time, and this was me being open to the journey, trusting my gut instinct, and just being like, all right, let's see what happens. And then boom, 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 those 3 things fell into place.
It's so hard to remember.
And that never happens in my life, ever.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, but you say it all the time to me. It's like, be open to the journey, be open to this. And then sometimes it's like,
hard.
oh my God, I just want to like nuzzle into the covers.
Oh yeah.
Trust me.
Me too.
But I'm like, but there is proof. There is light at the ends of tunnels, and there'll always be darkness because it's juxtaposed to light.
Yeah.
And I think this is why I love doing this show, to be able to hear, you put a book together of amazing women's stories, but it's like, I wanted to hear your story.
I think
to share that, because for me, to have that foresight to create something like this, you had to have a journey, you had to have a roller coaster, and I'm like,
Then it's more relatable, you know?
Yeah.
Relatable.
Because I want to be relatable to people. Like, I'm no one famous. I'm just like everyone else. And I'm here to share my story, these stories, but also encourage people to read it. Share your story as well. Like, you never know who you're going to inspire around you.
No.
Okay, except Matt.
Just the J-rated story. No. I got gossip on you, girl. Watch yourself.
Hold on.
Better behave. So that's some tea right there.
Right?
This is a gossip session.
Speaking of some tea, so if someone could have some tea time with you and sit down, what advice would you give to inspiring like entrepreneurs, especially like women who feel scared to step out and start? I mean, you started something amazing with your community, but to, you know, the first leap to taking this job or feeling like, okay, I'm empowered and I can do this. Like, what tea would you spill and tell them? Like, what advice?
I would tell them, find what you're passionate about first, because there's the comparison thing, no matter what industry you're in, but especially in entertainment, it's everywhere. You know, we compare ourselves, the way we look, you know, what opportunities you get. And it took me up until the age of 30 to be like, all right, just forget all that. What do I love? What am I passionate about? And once you start from there, you find you stop comparing yourself to other people and you find the opportunities that are right for you at the right place at the right time. And then it doesn't matter what anyone else is doing. And you meet the people you're meant to meet and you collaborate with the right people and it just falls into place. It's not perfect, but I think starting from a place of passion rather than comparison is a really good way to start to find your fit, you know?
In that camera.
I was going to say, finding what you're good at means starting from your passion and leading with that, basically. Otherwise, you're always comparing yourself to other people.
You know what else you just said in our other interview that we just heard? It was about timing, too. You know, so you hit on a good point, too, with like timing, because we're always so, you know, in a rush to get to the final destination.
That's me.
I'm guilty.
You're a liar if you're not.
Yeah,
exactly.
We're all guilty of it, you know?
Yeah.
It's like we want to get to the final destination, but like you wouldn't have this amazing book, you wouldn't have the amazing company you did if you didn't go through all the stuff that needed to happen.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have the most amazing relationship and be married, you know? You didn't go through those, you know, those moments. So
find out what you didn't want. Maybe in the deepest, darkest realms of your soul, but I think every part of your journey has brought you to here, and it's very exciting to see where this can lead to.
Thank you. It's like you got to, I've got a great publicist. It's like you got to go through those dark times to see the light, like that Dolly Parton quote. You got to put up, if you want to see the rainbow, you got to put up with a little bit of the rain, because otherwise if you see rainbows all the time in sunshine, you don't know the difference. So
God bless you, Dolly.
Dolly. She knows. She's got the quotes.
Dolly's appropriate in any sense. That's a Wonder Woman, honey.
Yes, she's amazing.
So are we going to switch it up a little bit?
Let's get some rapid fires, honey.
Rapid fires.
Now, y'all discuss among yourselves, because
it's never really rapid, because somehow we always end up doing
it comes into like a really
like deep
interesting conversation.
Either sometimes very deep conversation where it was like, that was supposed to be rapid, but
it was
rapid
deep.
can be deep.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. 2 women that are dead or alive, who would you invite for dinner?
That's a good one.
Dead or alive? Oh my gosh. Well, Michelle Obama, number one, just
alive.
because
Yes.
currently alive. Let's not start any rumors.
Right.
And Malala, also alive, just because of what she's been through. She's just this badass young girl from humble beginnings, and now she's like this worldwide phenomenon, and her message is so simple, like educate girls. And she's just, she's inspiring. So those 2 people.
Woman empowerment.
Yes.
I'm lying. All right, this is going to be a little tricky. Men empowerment. Yeah, massage that shoulder, honey. Oh. Date night or the park with the children? I know it's a rough choice.
Oh my gosh.
How do you feel right now?
Date night. Because
there you go. Say,
don't.
Rapper.
Yes.
Doesn't mean you're a bad mother. I just wonder, what are you feeling right now? She's like,
date night, because the majority of times I'm at the park with the children, so we don't get date nights unless one of our parents is in town or we're in Australia visiting the parents. So date night it is.
Done.
And on that note, we're gonna have a little
cheers to date night.
Cheers to date night.
Like, cheers to date nights. Well,
yes.
my date.
I need that.
Well, that's another topic for another day.
Ooh.
It's behind the scenes.
That's for sip of the tea after dark.
After dark.
We're we're going to have you plug your social media. Tell everybody where to find you, where to get this amazing book.
Hold your book, girl.
So today's Wonder Women, Everyday Superheroes Who Are Changing the World. It is out tomorrow. You can get it on Amazon, Goodreads, and all your good bookstores. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Asha Dahya, ASHADAHYA. Check out all things girltalkhq.com on the website and at girltalkhq on all the good social media venues, platforms. And that's me.
Yes,
okay, girl,
Ari.
yes. You guys can follow me across the board at Ariane Andrew and this little sleeping nugget at Glitty Glitch.
She's serving cranky lesbian. You can follow me at Matt Dillon 1983 and the other one over here, It's Moment 2011. Thank you so much. I love being able to bring friends and family here to meet with other friends and family.
Yeah, this has been awesome.
I'm so damn proud of you.
Oh, thank
I'm so
you.
damn proud of you, my love. You're like phenomenal. Get it on the
Well, you know,
We are family. Yeah.
I got
Oh, my sisters and me.
That's why I said I got
It's all right. I'm a sister. All right. Well, you want to close it out, babe?
Guys, we will catch you same time next week on Sippin' the Tea.
Till next time. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the wrong number. Click.